All right, guys, let's take a look at the Week 21 schedule for the NBA, for fantasy basketball, helping your teams for weekly lineup blocks and daily changes leagues as well as some free agents to have a look at and target who are going to be almost definitely available on your waiver wire. Let's start by looking at the teams with the best and the worst schedule for this upcoming week. The New York Knicks have the best schedule for the week. They play 4 games, which is the highest amount of any team. There are a few others that play those 4 games. Of course, not just the Knicks, but their ease of opponents give them the best schedule. They have the Kings, they have the Suns, they have the Kings again, and they have the Timberwolves, all teams which are really positives in terms of providing fantasy value. Now, of course, we know with the Knicks, any sort of consistency with any of these players is pretty tough to bank on, but we've got guys that we can at least take flyers on with this squad. Of course, Mitch Robinson needs to be rostered in all leagues, but you can look at even guys like Damo Dotson, Alonzo Trier, Emmanuel Mudiay, Henry Allenton, Noah Vonleh. They're going to be decent enough stream options for the week, and you're going to have, for looking at locking these guys into weekly lineups, it can be tough with a lot of these Knicks players, but the positivity of their schedule for this upcoming week does make it a little bit less painful. On the flip side, in terms of the team who has the worst schedule this week, one of 2 teams that plays only 2 games, the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Clippers are that other team. The Cavs don't play again until Wednesday. They play also on Friday. They take on the Nets and the Heat, 2 teams who are below average in terms of strength of opponent, or above average, however you want to phrase it. They're negative matchups for the Cavs is what I am getting at. With those guys, they also play on decently high volume days as well. You're not going to be looking to lock many of those Cavs players into lineups. The only one you'd really even consider is Kevin Love, and even then you wouldn't be looking too closely at him. Chetty Osman, Ante Zizic, Larry Nance, Colin Sexton, a lot of these guys aren't even rosterable players in 12-team leagues, so pretty much no Cleveland guy is going to be a must roster or must lock-in lineup guy for this upcoming week with just the 2 games on deck for those guys. Let's have a look more at this week now, week 21. The way the games break down, we've got 7 games Monday, 6 games Tuesday, so really nice stream days to start this week. We have 10 on Wednesday and 2 on Thursday, so really low volume Thursday there. 9 Friday, 6 Saturday, and 9 Sunday. So we're really looking to stream Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, but there's actually a chance that you'll be able to stream on that Friday, Sunday as well, and the 10-game Wednesday is probably the only day where streaming might be a little bit difficult. So if we just look at the ones where we're almost definitely going to be able to stream, we've got that back-to-back situation on Monday, Tuesday. Unfortunately, no teams have a back-to-back on Monday, Tuesday, which is a little bit annoying in terms of our purposes. So then we look to the next pseudo back-to-back, which is the Tuesday, Thursday. Now, only 4 teams play on Thursday, but 3 of those teams also play Tuesday. The Portland Trail Blazers, the Indiana Pacers, and the Oklahoma City Thunder. So adding those guys from Tuesday, guys from those teams, and then they play again on Thursday, you can get 2 for the price of 1 waiver acquisition. So guys in Portland, maybe you're looking at Mo Harkless, maybe you're looking at Jake Layman, maybe you're looking at Rocket Rodney Hood, hoping he can repeat what he did on Sunday, which is probably unlikely. Maybe you're looking at Wes Matthews of the Pacers. Getting that 2 for 1 there can be really important for your fantasy basketball team. The next pseudo back-to-back we look at is Thursday and Saturday to see whether teams, there is any streaming options there. You've got the Bucks who have a Thursday, Saturday. It's also at the start of a 3-game in 4-night stretch for Milwaukee. So I think there's going to be some rest there, whether that's Bledsoe or Brogdon or Giannis or Middleton or Lopez. Someone will potentially rest during that 3 and 4 game slate. Now, whether that's on the Saturday game against Charlotte remains to be seen, but that could open up value for Ersan Ilyasov or Nikola Mirotic, for any of the guards as well. So extra value coming towards guys like Pat Connaughton, perhaps, who's really been stepping up in George Hill's absence. The other Thursday, Saturday option, you've got the Blazers, who have that great, you pick up a guy on Tuesday for Portland, you can play them Tuesday, you can play them Thursday, you can play them Saturday, and the Saturday game is against the Suns. So some real value there in those Blazers guys, and they're the only 2 pseudo back-to-backs for that Thursday, Saturday slate that we've got. As I've already mentioned, Portland have that really strong schedule. The Bucks also have 3 of their games being quality games this week. The only 2 teams who have 3 quality games. So they're going to be a real target for streamers, and I've highlighted some options for those guys already. On the flip side, the Pistons have 3 games this week, and absolutely 0 of them occur on streaming days. So guys who are playing well at the moment, the Duck Luke Kennard, for example, is probably the main one, the Duke Wayne Ellington, even Reggie Jackson, he probably does slide into your best lineup. Looking to stream these guys or add them, you may not even get a game out of them. So Kennard was great across the weekend, fantastic performance on Saturday. But if you add him for this week, you might get 0 games out of him. You're looking to stream in Ellington for 3s. You might be better going with another option, Landry Shamet, Reggie Bullock with the Lakers. You might actually get to play those players, and that's really important when looking at this, because the 3 games and the streaming is all nice, but if you can't actually fit them into your active roster, then it's all obviously pointless. The majority of teams this week do play 3 games. As I mentioned, 2 teams playing 2 games, the Clippers and the Cavs, while the Knicks, the Heat, the Bucks, the Wolves, the Hawks, the Suns, the Pelicans, the Mavericks, the Sixers, and the Bulls all have 4 games for this coming week. Let's take a look now at some players who we can have a look at as options to stream in for this week, but also having some long-term value. Dwight Powell's pretty much a must roster, right? Mitch Robinson, he's one who's still available in over 50% of leagues. He needs to be rostered everywhere. Dwight Powell, he needs to be rostered everywhere. 30-plus minutes for 3 consecutive games. Looks to be locked in as the starting center in Dallas. Strong week for him as well with 4 games. An absolute must roster, I believe, at least for this week. Kelly Olynyk, last game, Jim Johnson for the Heat was healthy and didn't play, and we've seen Olynyk go off. Now, I've been a big fan of Olynyk for quite a while. If you give him 30-plus a night, he's a comfortable top 100, probably top 70 guy. But the minutes have waxed and waned. At the moment, they're in the upper portion of that. I don't know if that's waxing or waning, but he's in the high level there. So you add him and you see where it goes. The Heat have got 4 games. He could very well play 60 minutes across 3 of those games, or he could play 60 minutes in the first 2 of those games. The Spoelstra rotations continue to be frustrating, and we just don't know how that'll play out, but you can't really leave him alone on the wire. Kent Bazemore, who's not great, but there is some stream value with 4 games with potential absences from Taurean Prince. We've got illnesses striking down John Collins, so there is an option there for Bazemore, and Robin Lopez in Chicago. The last 2 games haven't been great, but it's a 4-game week for the Bulls. He's getting big minutes every night. And that extra game that he has value over some of these other players who you might be looking at, say it's Willie Cauley-Stein of the Kings, who only plays 3 games and whose minutes are up because Bagley's out. Maybe you do look for Lopez as a really interesting add for this week coming ahead. McCall Bridges of the Suns, the 4 games gives him a bit of a boost. We know what he does. His assists have been up lately, but the defensive numbers in the 3s, you're not looking for scoring. He's outplaying someone like Josh Jackson most of the time. Justice Winslow's available in more leagues than necessary. This is a good opportunity for him as well. I've been a bit lukewarm on him, but with 4 games compared to the majority of teams playing 3, value there. Kevin Huerter, probably not a must roster guy just at this point with how he's been going, but this week does offer that opportunity for him to be used with 4 games coming up for the Hawks. And then you've got Derek White, who's a must roster in every single league, every single format, but he's available in over 50% of Yahoo leagues, so I've got to mention him here. But I'll mention it this way. Add him. I don't care about the schedule. You just add him everywhere. The Spurs only play 3 games, but it doesn't matter. Derek White needs to be rostered in every single league, and he isn't. Check Diallo, another guy who's really significantly outplaying Jahlil Okafor. I really like what Diallo can do. He needs 25 a night to be a consistent top 100 guy. But for this week, again, even if he plays 21 or 22 a night, or even 19 a night, the 4 games, you can maybe play him 80, 85 minutes across those 4 games. Maybe Davis sits out one of them and we get to 90, 95 minutes. That's the equivalent of a 3-game guy playing 30 minutes a night. And finding a 3-game, 30-minute a night high fantasy producing player is not an easy thing to do on your wire or at the back end of your roster. So Diallo for this week, when he's got that significant advantage. And while 4 games versus 3 games doesn't seem like much, a 3-game player going to a 4-game player, it's a 33% increase in overall volume of games played, which might not necessarily translate into minutes, but it could be a 20-25% increased minutes load for those guys. And when the majority of teams play 4 games, it's less important, but when the majority play 3, getting that extra game can be a real advantage, and Diallo's that guy who does really fit into that mold for this week. So, yeah, a bunch of guys there. Derek White and Dwight Powell are the absolute must-roster guys. You've got Winslow and Olynyk, I'd probably put in that next band of players. Lopez and Diallo in the next group, and then guys like Bazemore and Bridges probably at the lower end. But there's some names to consider who are available in a shit ton of leagues, way too many leagues that they should be rostered in, and there's opportunities for them to go out there and have pretty strong weeks. If your playoffs have started, good luck to you. If you're making that final charge towards the playoffs, good luck to you. If you're in a Roto League and looking to get the championship there, of course, good luck to you as well. And that is the Week 21 preview.